Saturday, September 27th, 2025. Just up to the farm to have another inspection on the beehives. I was thinking about even pulling honey off today, but I really want to get a look in there and assess resources and all. So we're going to have a look-see, and then if time provides this weekend, I'll pull honey. Looking at the forecast, it looks like we have some time, another week or so. Still should be nice weather for that. So I may wait till next weekend or sometime during the week, depending on how schedules and things align. Just thought we'd have a look at the cover crops in here and see how much the winter rye has grown. That's like 8 to 10 inches tall now and developing well. We had good rain the last couple days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I know we got at least 2 inches of rain. And man, does it ever show in these cover crops. Look how robust and green and dense things are growing in here. Well, good Lord, isn't that a beautiful sight? With the rains we had and the foliar feeds we gave, the holy basil has exploded into flower again. And it's loaded with honeybees. So much so that you can hear it from 20 or 30 feet away. You hear the buzz. Man, that's a wonderful, soothing sound. Let's have a look at our colonies. My, that is some incredible traffic coming in and out, huh? Even our 8-frame hive is just absolutely thriving now. So I was unable to fix the old smoker, so I went over to Hudson Valley Bee Supply, picked up a new one, and we're going to get that lit up and jump in and get some, the honeybee bumping into me. Hey, sweetheart, I'm not trying to hurt you. All right, give me a minute. Just loaded. All right, right away I smell the goldenrod and all the honey and nectar curing. It's pretty awesome. New smoker's lit. We're gonna jump in and get it on. Boy, that works really nice. That bellows on that really provide good thrust. All right, we got honeybees right up to the top on this. That's nice. Give them a hit. And we'll see what we got going on in here. Very curious to see if they finished filling the 3rd box and if they've started anything on box 4. Wow. Thriving colony. Honeybees everywhere. I just see a lot of dark, which indicates that there's no wax drawn out yet on these. So we're just going to pull this fourth box off and go down to the third and have a look. Wow, the roar in there is incredible. I don't know how much you can hear over on the camera right now. There are a lot of bees in here, and they're at full power. Yeah, you can see no comb drawn on box 4. Take a look on box 3 and see what we got. We'll pull some of these edge ones and see. I don't think there's even comb drawn out on the edge one, which it's amazing to see so much traffic for so long and not get a whole lot of resource gained from it. Again, time of the season makes such a huge difference in how much they actually collect. I'm always super hopeful that they filled every single box, but you know, got to come back to reality sometimes. Here you go, they're drawing some comb on this one. Outside edge is just a touch of wax. Honeybees all in there working. I don't think they're going to fill this third box. So that already kind of tells me my answer as far as harvest. We're going to pull the second box and leave the third on as a sort of a secondary resource for them. I'll pull this other frame next to that just so you can see it more clearly. Yeah, so that side they're drawing it out pretty well. Oh, and they're actually it's just a couple little spots where they've put nectar and honey in. Kind of strange, like they're just starting to fill it. And then the other side is just starting to draw about halfway down. Try and catch the light. The sunlight isn't my best angle today with being so far south now. And the next one over has drawn capped honey on a good portion of it. I'll pull that for you too. There we go. Yeah, wow. Good portion of drawn and capped on there, although not filled out. Interesting how that pattern's kind of strange. Lots of healthy, happy honeybees. I see some honeybees depositing honey here, and they got their heads stuck down in the barrel like that. They are most likely bees that do the transport of honey from the resource grabbers and put it away in the hive. This is drawn and capped most of the way. No nectar surrounding what's drawn and capped, so it doesn't look like they're pulling a lot of nectar now. But that's a real nice backup honey frame for starting a new colony in the spring or providing a little supplementation. So like I said, I think we're going to end up dropping this third box down into the second box's place. And the second box is the only one we'll pull off as a harvest this year. Still, that should be somewhere between 70 and 100 pounds of honey. And I have no complaints for effectively a free ride on honey on their labor. And I'm very happy to leave them enough resource so they can do it again. Pull this guy out. Whoops, bumped a bunch of ladies off there. Fully drawn, no nectar, but fully drawn, so it's possible they could start filling that. Fully drawn, no real nectar except for a couple of capped spots. Kind of a strange pattern. And then the next frame over has drawn pretty much most of the way out, and some capped. I guess we'll pull that one too. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there you go. So Starting to fill with nectar. Some drawn and capped on the top, on the outside edge. Inside edge, about 2/3 or so, maybe 3/4 drawn and capped. Nectar going into what is not yet capped. So that's excellent. And of course the frame next to it is pretty much drawn and capped, and so on and so forth into the center of the hive frame. So I'm not totally dissatisfied with that. I was, fingers crossed, hopeful that they could fill a third box completely, but I knew that was an unrealistic expectation, so it was just kind of a wish and a hope. Can't have all our wishes come true. Otherwise, life wouldn't be any fun. So this colony, I think, is going to be good to go for pulling the second box off. I'm not going to open that up right now and disturb the colony deep until I'm ready to pull honey off. And I've got a few things at home I got to sort and organize to make space for boxes of honey and the extraction process. So I'm going to put this fourth box back on, and we'll go into the next hive, the one that you're sitting on top of. Don't see any bees in the top box on this one. Couple. Not many. So we'll just drop this box right off and get right to it. I'm not sure I was recording the previous clip. So let's back up a minute. Rewind. So, outside edge of this one, pretty well fully drawn, no nectar at all. Inside edge, not as drawn, clearly no nectar, but a nice base framework for drawing comb. And this second one in, I'll pull back out again here, actually has nectar in it. Try and give you a good close-up of that. Basically this whole patch in here has got nectar. The rest of it is just fully drawn comb. Look at the beautiful clean draw of comb pattern they did here. What a nice clean build. And on the other side we have nectar in a bunch of the cells, and we've got some capped and drawn. So that's good. And that honey is very clear looking to me. That makes me think it might be clover, like a white clover. Tends to be a clearer colored nectar and honey. But we won't know that unless we taste it. And I'm not taking my bee suit off to taste it. And I'm not stealing any out of it, because we want them to have good resources. So it looks like, I don't know, let's pull the third frame in too while we're here. Just get a good idea of what's actually in here as we go deeper into the colony. There we go. It's actually bonded to the other frames. Yeah, there we go. A lot of nectar in there. A lot of capped honey. Still a lot of empty to fill. So they're filling out fast, but they're by no means done. This one's probably 3/4 filled out. Not a lot of nectar in the empty cells yet, but imagine they'll fill that. And frame next to it is similar. So they basically have not filled this box up yet. Not even close, really. We'll compress these back in on this side. They're spacing back. And we'll take a look on this side too and see what we have. Yeah, empty, just starting to draw a comb. Same on the other side. Same on this next frame. A little bit of comb drawn on top. Just the tracings again. Interesting how they do that in bands, huh? In striped bands. Almost like an old inkjet printer when it starts to run out. Okay. This one has a good bit of nectar on in the middle and some capped up here. I really got to wonder if that's white clover, or I think the holy basil was a more reddish purplish color, but I could be wrong. But they sure are drawing a lot of that nectar in. Oh, that could also be goldenrod, in fact. Yeah, smelling it, I think it is goldenrod. Hope you can see the nectar where we have the good sunlight here and you can see the reflection. I've been trying to show that in some of these videos. It's often hard to get an angle and close up enough to see it. And then I guess I'll just slide this off to the side a minute. I'll give you a shot down on this frame. There we go. A lot of capped and drawn, also filling with nectar. So, as much honey as I thought was in this hive, doesn't seem to be as much as I thought there was. That's alright. Alright, so that's a good assessment. We know this box is not going to be a harvest box, but it will provide drawn comb and honey for next spring for resources, or if these guys get low on fuel, it'll give them a better opportunity to not get starved out in the process. So I'm just gonna slide this back where it belongs, and then this one, and then this one. We'll tuck these back together. And I think that's good for now. We'll just wait till we pull honey to look at those second boxes. So when I go to pull honey, I'm going to have to pull the top two boxes off, pull the second box off, evacuate the bees out of it, put it in the car or whatever, and then restack these other two boxes down in place of box 2. And I'm sure they'll continue filling these until they can't do any more work in the cold. So I'm going to drop this 4th box back on for now because it doesn't hurt anything. It's an easy place to store it. And they can be filling it with propolis and comb and all until they can't anymore. As much gain out of the season as we can. And I suppose while we're over here looking at things, we should have a peek see in the 8-frame hive, which in the last few weeks seems to be absolutely thriving. So that's pretty encouraging. So let's take a look at that quick, and then we'll get on up out of here. All right, let's have a look see at the 8-frame. Little puff of smoke in there, keep them chill. Not too much in the top box there. Alright, and this had a frame pulled out. I think we had to fill another frame in somewhere or something. We're just going to pull this right straight off and get right to the core immediately, because this is empty basically. Show you they got it kind of bonded with propolis, but nothing filled up in there yet. And then I'll adjust the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, we're down to the excluder. And I think I will pull that off for a minute, just to get a better look at stuff. I'm probably not going to take these apart, because if you recall, they were a bit mangled from early spring when I couldn't get back in and get the queen cage out. And I don't want to go tearing a colony apart end of the season when they're trying to prep for winter and survive. But oh man, we got lots of bees. Maybe we'll pull. I gotta be careful too, because this potentially could have a queen up in it. I imagine she's down in the bottom doing her thing, but given the queen excluder's up here, she could be up in box 2. We don't want to mistakenly nip a queen and fall. But yeah, that's what I thought. Empty. Same on the next one over. Bonded in, but empty. So the first 4 frames going across from south to north, from your side to that side, are basically empty. And then we have these other ones that were down in the bottom box initially, and they're fairly full. And I'm tempted to just pop the top box on this, because I'm not going to mess with this when I come back to harvest honey. Just to have a look down into the main colony box. Top up my smoker quick. Oh boy, that is exactly why we didn't want to. Uh-oh. Ah, that's got brood in it too. Shoot. Yeah, that was definitely not what we intended to do. What am I going to do with that? I think I'm going to stick that. Well, I guess I'll let you have a look at it. A good close-up look at brood. And I don't see the queen. I think we're just going to set this aside a minute. I don't know, I might even be able to get it back in. She was able to. Yeah. I got propolis all over my fingers now. I actually was able to stuff it back in here and kind of glue it with the wax to the 2 edges. I think I can get that box back on without disturbing that again. So hopefully we haven't disrupted that too much. And we'll just take a close look at our colony here. I mean, they really are thriving. And I'm not going to dig down into this box anymore. I just don't want to risk hurting my queen or disrupting things too much. We're almost October here. Like, we could feasibly go to cold weather, frost, and very little flight dates left in the season. I don't want them caught off guard with damage. But it's great to see how well they're doing. I smell goldenrod honey curing off of there, very strong. That smells wonderful, and the bees are doing well. So we'll stick that other box back on and get back out of here. All right. Try and drag these ladies out of the way a bit so we don't crush too many of them. I'm going to put this box back on very gently, carefully, and quickly so we don't lose that comb back out. There we go. That actually went better than I thought it would. We'll put our excluder back on. Come on, ladies, you got to back down for me. Just don't want to crush anybody. I can help it. All right, we'll drop this third box back on. Just because. And you gotta hear the roar. About 3-4 minutes. Traffic resuming normal operation right off the bat. And it's really nice to see how much nectar they're pulling in up in that third box in the right two colonies. It's like that traffic does equate to a bunch of resources being gathered. So that's good. And I'm not entirely sure what it is, but we can be sure that goldenrod is probably some of it, and holy basil for sure is some of it, because they are working that hard. So, fantastic news. Things look good. We're going to pull box 2 on the hive, the 2 right-hand hives, 1 and 2. We'll pull the second box as our honey harvest for this season sometime this week, or maybe sooner, maybe this weekend. And we'll leave the other boxes on over the winter. It's probably just the easiest, safest place to store them, and the resource is right handy if they need it. Then we'll go into extraction process. That's a whole process all in itself. We'll get to that in another video. For now, hope you found this interesting or informative. Thanks for watching the Pharmacy Seeds Network. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. So here we are, end of the day, end of the week, and we got a new smoker. We got in and inspected honeybee hives. We can expect 2 full boxes of honey off of those and building reserves for next year. Our cover crops are growing really well. We've had good rains. They've had good foliar feeds. They had good inoculants at planting. Our fence posts are set in concrete and curing. And the Ford 9N is back functional again.